Okay, now it says I'm on air live.
You're on air live.
Yes.
You are famous.
Everyone can see us.
We are famous.
Look at us.
Yep.
All right.
Time to give shout outs to your mom.
I'd like to thank my.
First of all, I would like to thank God. All right.
No, this is good because that way, so for everyone who's watching this after our meeting, hopefully the volume is good and you can understand everything. So this is a good way for us to kind of record the sessions and for people who miss them to be able to watch them later.
And if you can't hear what we're saying, that's why you should be in the meetings. So I sent out an agenda to everybody. Did everybody get it?
Let me take a look. Yep, I got it.
Cool. Lee?
Yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, you have my minutes from the last meeting, I see.
yeah. So I thought we should just review the minutes first, just to bring folks up to speed.
Sure. Do you want me to go over that?
Yeah. Can you do that?
Sure. So last week I took the minutes, and I guess this week I'll be taking them again. But last week I'll just kind of go in order based on the meeting minutes. In terms of grant writing updates, from LY, Lee, Priyanka, and Victor. From myself, for operating, I talked about how I met my goal for April with 10. Follow-up was to be conducted, and my goal for May I set at 5 due to the fact that I had had other UA responsibilities that kind of consumed my time. So, my goal at last meeting was to do 5 operating. For Christmas wishes, I kind of discussed the 2 types of grants that we would be doing for Christmas wishes. One is for the annual gala, which is considered a cultural event, and that's the one in December, and then the other one is the actual program in Africa. And the goal for May is to get a total of 5 done, which would include both types. The letter of inquiry has actually been done for both of them, and has started to beginning to get sent out, but I'll go over that more later. For Victor's school supplies, he mentioned that 5 were sent out for April, with Jessica also assisting on those, and they received 2 responses. One was that the deadline was over, and the other was interested in discussing further. For action items, operating, we had complete 5 for May, school supplies complete 10, Christmas wishes complete 5, and for aware, Lee would provide updates. For ongoing fundraising updates, and this was Lee and Victor. Victor just basically went over the fundraising kit, what it would include, and everything on the brochure. He talked about the updates in terms of how much money we had so far, and so far that total is between $1,700 and $1,800, and we're trying to get in the $3,500 range. And the action item was to finalize the fundraising packet and to work on coordinating with the accounting department since they're responsible for thank you letters. Then we welcomed our new member, Blake, and we talked about new fundraising initiatives. We talked about global giving. Because we weren't able to meet the summer challenge due to the fact that the deadline was sooner than we thought, they did give us another chance to reapply for the August challenge. And the deadline for that is June 24th. So they urged us to be able to kind of, while we did submit an initial application and got accepted in the initial process, there were additional items that had to be completed. The first round, we weren't able to do those in the time. So no, we have another chance to do it for at least the August challenge. talked about one today, which Lee LY set up for our staff. We talked about restaurant fundraisers. We talked about grocery retail store fundraising and retail store fundraising. The action items from the fundraising session was that Blake would begin to make simple inquiries at Harris Teeter in the DMV area. And he would also look into getting permission from retail stores around the area. See if we would be able to set up a booth or a table in front and start thinking about how to link up with organizations.
I'm sorry I didn't get up there. Do you want me to go feed him now?
I'm getting him now, but I don't know what to do by this.
I'll go back something new for you.
All right. I'll continue. And the last thing was effective communication. And we decided we would talk about that at the next meeting when all of us were together. And those were the minutes. So can someone motion to approve the minutes?
Unless Lee has any questions of any of those items.
Lee, do you have questions about any of those items?
Nope. Everything looks good to me.
All right.
Move the motion and I second.
All right. I guess
Second.
I second that.
Minutes adopted.
All right.
Blake was going to give us, I was hoping Blake would be here to give us an update on what we did on his item. You're moving around the room, Lee.
What was the question? I'm sorry, Victor?
You're moving around the room.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm actually going upstairs. I need to help feed the dogs. Wait, I'm listening. You won't lose me. Here, do you want me to mix that up? I'll be listening, but I won't be visible for a minute.
All right. Well, I was hoping Blake was going to be here to give us an update on his Harris Teeter action item. But so Lee knows, Blake contacted Harris Teeter. There were two different possibilities we thought we could partner with Harris Teeter on. One was an idea that Priyanka had brought up in one of our meetings when Priyanka had found out from her local Harris Teeter that there's a possibility that we can be included in the checkout donation program they have at Harris Teeter. And then Blake had the idea that we can set up grocery stores and retail stores to raise funds. So he followed up with Harris Teeter on that. Harris Teeter told him that to be on the checkout donation at the registers, that we're going to have to go through the corporate office, that they don't do it locally. And so he got some contact information to try to contact the corporate office, which, as of the last time we talked, which was on Wednesday, he hadn't had any success. He just couldn't reach anybody. But while he was researching, I guess maybe at the store somewhere, he found out that Harris Teeter also makes donations to nonprofits. He looked at the different categories. I believe they have like a category for programs that address hunger, childhood hunger. There's another program that addresses childhood education and something else. We figure the school supplies program fits into the childhood education aspect. So he's going to look into trying to deter. Well, we started looking into how we can how we can apply to get a donation from Harris Teeter. Apparently, you have to have a VIC card or something like that.
Oh, we have one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you had a VIC card. Jennifer also has a VIC card. So either myself or you can follow up on that. But Blake, I told Blake to keep calling the corporate office to see if we can get in contact with somebody about getting ourselves on the checkout donation thing. So that's as far as we got about that. So I guess when next we talk to Blake, he'll give us an update on that. And next item is the matching donation updates on the matching donation fundraising drive. And we're gonna need Lee on this one. So, Lee, can you still hear us? He's out walking the dog. There he is. You're muted.
I'm muted. I've just stepped away from the screen.
Yeah.
You hear me now?
Yeah. Are you back and you're still?
Yeah, I was listening. I was just stepped away.
Oh, you're still on the mission.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm going to get started because I've been working with Master to get the brochure and flyer ready.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Master, I sent you an email yesterday, I believe. I don't know if you got it.
I don't remember seeing an email from you, but I did get Jessica's email. She emailed me about updating some of the content on the brochure.
About updating some of the content of the brochure?
Yeah, she wanted me to change the school, and also just like she submitted another photograph for me to use on the flyer, but more so for me to change the information because the school is going to be changed. So I did the school information, and then she wants to edit that more. So she sent me that yesterday after I had done what I had did, and now we're gonna I'm gonna like send that to her so that she can edit it and send it back to me so that the brochure can then be updated with the new information. So it's been updated. It's kind of going a back and forth thing, I guess, at this point. But he sent me that request to allow her to update the information that was initially submitted for the first change. So I guess the brochure is not complete yet because it's obvious that she wants to continue to tweak the information that's on it. So that's kind of what's happening with the brochure. There has not been anything additional with the flyer. I remember it might have been last week that I sent the flyer to you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask how, was there anything that needed to be done with the flyer additionally that was that needed to be maybe changed or anything in that regard?
Well, first question. I did send out the flyers to everybody.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody has seen it. I sent out an email, but it's on the shared drive as well.
Okay.
If anybody wants to take a look at what we're talking about.
All right.
Lee, Yolanda, have you guys seen the flyer?
I haven't. Let me just double check what I've seen, Victor. Hang on.
There's a few updates.
Yeah, Jessica wants a few updates. Like I said, as I said before, Jessica wants a few updates for the brochure, and Victor said that he sent the flyer already to everybody. So the flyer is probably fine. No changes to be made to that. Just the brochure as of right now.
Then, if you have access to the shared drive, it's the flyers on the shared drive.
My question is, are we getting the brochures printed?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I'll actually defer to Lee on that. Should we? Well, I'll tell you what's been considered. One idea we had was if everybody has access to it, either on the drive or as an attachment to an email, people can print however many copies they need individually and be able to use it as they see fit. I guess the other idea would be to print however many copies and then make them available to whoever needs them. But the process was taking so long, that's why we decided to just send it to everybody electronically. And the other factor is the whole idea is to get as many volunteers involved in the fundraising as possible and not not every volunteer has the time to come into the office or to wherever and pick up the flyers. So let's say Christina, for example, is interested in using the brochures, or Samantha is interested in using the brochures, or fill in the blank. They can just get the brochure electronically and print it by themselves, so that we don't hold people up waiting for the flyers to be printed. But I guess there might be some merit to printing the flyers. I don't see why it's absolutely necessary to print the flyers. That's just my own 2 cents. But I don't know if Lee has any thoughts about that, or if you guys have any thoughts about that.
Well, that would be my preference, that we had a flyer that would be designed in a way that anybody could print it out and just use it, as opposed to having to carry around flyers that were printed. But I'm eager to hear what the rest of you all think.
I mean, I think if it looks good when it gets printed out, I guess, you know, it would just depend on if someone has access to color printer versus black and white, and then what it would look like on color printers. I haven't printed it out myself, so I don't know what it looks like. If it looks, you know, if it looks good on printed paper, if it can even print out. I guess I would defer to Master for that.
Yeah, that's. I guess. I mean, generally, I wouldn't have any. I don't see any issue with you know, just sending it out to everybody who would like to see it in full, and just having them print it out, you know, at their own discretion. But I guess one possible, if there's any problem with that, would maybe be to just double check that everything is legible and everything is visible as far as the text goes. And other than that, I don't really see any issues with that. It seems like an ideal way to go, especially if cost is one of the main focuses of it. So, yes.
And also ease of access. The last time I looked at it, Master, I couldn't find a way, if I printed it out, to kind of fold it to make it look like a brochure. You've got a 6-panel layout or something like that, is that right?
There's two. The way I designed the entire interior of the brochure at the same time. So there's 3 panels there, and then on the outside there's also the other 3 panels that would be the outside of the brochure. But it was designed with the intent that it would be printed out. You know, one side would be printed a certain way, and then it would be folded mechanically folded by a whatever the manufacturer would use. And that would then allow it to be, you know, that functioning brochure that's kind of like that open and closed type pamphlet. But if it's going to be printed out by people,
can you change the format? Can you change the format so it could be
the brochure so that I can show it on the screen?
Can it be printed, or can it be folded now as a 3-panel? Does it work?
The way it was, no. Well, it can't. It's not a one print thing, because the interior was designed at one point as its own project, and then the exterior was designed as a second project. So that's 2 different things that they would need to print out, and that's 2 different, you know, sheets of.
But you have
Can you put it in the same PDF or in the same document at all?
I have been trying to do it. I can't figure a way to do it to where it's going to print as a front and back type document.
Okay.
I mean, it can print on the same sheet of paper, but I mean that.
You had to print one, and then you had to put it back on the printer, and then you had to print it out again. So you had to put it in. Okay, so the way to do it is you'd have to print it out like the interior first.
Like that.
Then you'd have to flip the paper and then print out the outside, and then that would give you what you want.
Yeah, like that would have to be a feature of whatever printer you're using, or if you're able to.
No, it's not a feature. You can just take it out.
I mean, well, everybody doesn't know that by default. You know.
So you'd have to tell them. We could tell.
Yeah, we have to give them instructions.
Yeah, that you would tell them that if they want to print it back in front, they have to, you know, print out the interior first, then flip it over, print out the outside, and then if they can make copies of that using a copier printer, that would be easier, because then you could just easily make the front and back instead of you manually doing it, right?
Yeah,
I think that would work.
Yeah.
So, but Victor, don't you have to make 2 different files for that? I couldn't figure out how to get it to divide in half on the way you have it set up now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up on my screen so we can all see what we're talking about here.
Good, okay.
Give me one
We
second.
may have to ask your favor, if, Master, to put it on two different documents or something like, or two pages of the same document. Does that make sense? Am I correct? Because it wasn't
Wait.
designed.
Wait, what is your question?
My question is, you now have it as a single document, right?
Well, there is a version that is a single document. Would that be ideal for what you wanted to suggest?
No, well, I think what we're saying is, can you reformat it so that it's two separate 8.5 by 11 documents?
Well, yeah, that's how it was initially done. So it is definitely, well, it should be. That's available already.
Okay, good. Because the one you sent around earlier, though, was just for convenience, all put in a single document, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like it was tried out both ways because that was an issue that Victor brought to my attention, and I tried to figure out a way that it could be a front and back type of situation. But the best that I could do was to put it on the same document. So it is also on the same document as a file that I have, and it's in separate files also.
So Victor, can you pull that up? What version do you have, Victor?
I'm lost here. I'm trying to find myself.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So, but that's easy enough to do, Master.
Yeah.
Frank, what I understand you correctly, a two-page document, you can print out the first page and then reinsert the first page in your printer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then print out the back.
So it's not that complicated. We can just write the 3 steps of instruction. The first time somebody does it, they might do it upside down, right?
Yeah, but then they'd have to just, put it back in and try again, and then they'd get your brochure.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking as well.
And let's say people don't have access to a copier that would easily, because otherwise you have to do it manually every single time, which is a lot of time, right? So my solution to that is, at my work, I have a copier, so I would be able to print it out and then use the copying machine to make subsequent copies of it front and back, so I don't have to,
Right.
manual. But for people who don't have access, they could just, I guess, use one brochure that they carry around with them to show people the brochure in person.
Yeah. You can print out 4 or 5. It wouldn't take that long, and you could either.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I guess it's up to them.
Exactly. You don't need to.
To you, it sounds easy enough. Then I feel like anyone could figure it out then.
As long as we tell them, don't worry, if it comes upside down, just try it again the opposite way, right? That's the instruction. That's my feeling. Is that it's not going to be the most beautiful thing, but it'll be the most convenient thing.
Also, in addition to what we're seeing now, I need to update what the changes that Jessica suggested for me yesterday before we start printing things and sending things to people.
Right.
Hold off on that, Master, for just 1 second, because I want you to go over that while I have the brochure on the screen.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the flyer, and this is the brochure.
Why did that show like that?
When you shared it with us, it shows weird.
It's a pin. This
is both of them together, but
And that's
see how it's
also been
weird?
printed together.
No, but why does it look like that?
Look at the pink file.
Yeah. Yeah, can you?
Why does it look like that? What do you think it changed?
Yeah, there.
Think it might be because of the phone or what?
It showed that way on the computer too.
I was hoping I could have it on the screen, but I can't. But I think we
You want me to pull it up on the screen? I can. I mean, maybe we can share. I can share the screen here.
Go for it.
There's an effect,
we also
right?
yes.
You go ahead.
Where is it? Screen share. Okay. Full screen. Start screen share. Can you guys see the screen now?
You just did it.
Oh no!
Beautiful. I love that.
Never ending.
It doesn't do it right.
Infinite Priyanka.
All right, let's see. Let me try the other one. Oh, it doesn't work.
And
Let me
It
just,
just,
yeah,
it just,
the screen share was weird, wasn't it? Isn't it?
it does. It's weird. That's an error that they have then that they should probably fix.
all right.
That's too bad. I wanted to show you guys using screen share on here. Maybe there's a way to do it. Do you have the file, like, pulled up? Is it the desktop? No, is it on here? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
See if we can show them. I know it's like weird right now, but maybe we can show them, and it'll take up the screen or something, and they can see it.
You did screen share with me before.
Hold on, we're gonna try to see if we can minimize the screen and to see if you'll be able to actually see the screen with the brochure on it. If not, you know, obviously we'll move forward. But let's see if we can
You
try.
want me to do the double one?
Yeah. See if we can. Hold on, let me. All right.
This is how it should show.
Yeah, I see. That's interesting. Okay. Let me pull that up. Let me minimize that. All right. Can you guys see it? No, you can't see it. Hold on.
Nope, I still see the endless loop.
I know. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Do you guys see that?
No,
No.
I just see the two of you. I think we lost Lee in the meantime.
Do we lose Lee?
Yeah,
Oh no.
Gotta call him back, right?
fallen into a black hole. Can
Who's
you
in a black hole? Oh, I mean it's right here. Hold on. Let me see. Can you guys see that?
hold on? Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, okay. Good.
We just gotta find Lee.
We just had to find Lee. So here it is, and we can just go through this. I wonder if this gets recorded as well.
Yeah, it's all getting recorded.
Awesome. See, this is a, you know, trial and error. We kind of learn as we go.
Cool. Now this is the version that we really can't use.
Yeah. Since this version,
Yeah.
changes have already been made for the school, so that entire right panel, right page, that's titled, the heading is School Supplies Program Catiola, and also where it says Catiola, and also the information about the Catiola
They can't
school
see
that's
your
in
finger.
there. All of that has been changed. That's the most recent change that's been implemented into the brochure.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could.
There it is. There it is. What I just
So all of this. Yeah, no, we figured it out. All of this.
So pretty much the entire right side of it has been changed.
the third panel. Yeah, right,
Yes.
right. It's a different city, right?
A different school. Yes.
CD,
Yeah.
Master, you sent me two PDF files
Uh-huh.
of the most recent update. One for the front and one for the back. Can you put those on the screen? Are you able to?
Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah. Because I sent them to you last week for the meeting. But you requested access. That's what I was sending to you on the shared drive. And you requested access to it during the meeting. It's
All right, we're
labeled
pulling it up now.
School Supplies Brochure Front, School Supplies Brochure Back.
Yeah, okay, so it's not. Okay, so what's gonna happen? I'm gonna open up the interior,
Yeah.
and then once we get to the exterior of it. Yeah.
No, do both. Open up both.
Okay.
All right. Oh, well, this is even an image, so that's cool.
Okay, so that's the.
So that's one side, and then
That's one
the
side.
other side.
The other side
The
is
interior.
probably this one.
Yep.
19, yeah, or the.
All right. Great. This probably even has the change, right?
And Master, if you can also pull up the flyer.
What's that?
If you can pull up the flyer.
As well. All right. Where's the
Okay,
flyer?
and open up the flyer.
Yeah.
The flyer and also the template that I sent you that you put the flyer off of.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 4 documents total. Front of brochure, back of brochure, the flyer you created, and the template for the flyer.
Right. To be template, we want to do preference. That's right here. Like.
Okay.
So that's everything.
All
Should
right.
be everything.
All right. So let me do this now. Do that. And you can X out of that. All right. What I'm going to share with you guys now. Let's see.
If you can share the exterior.
I know. So
Let's share the interior.
no. Okay, hold on. What do you guys see right now?
A black screen.
Uh-oh.
A black screen.
Black.
Okay. I just figured it out a second ago.
You did it.
All right, here we go. Sorry that took so long. All right, do you guys see that?
Yeah, there it is. So
There
that's,
you go.
Nice, very nice. Okay.
that's the exterior.
So, yeah, I mean, just wondering how this gets done. What I usually have to do is make sure the image is open, and then I have to somehow get myself back to the Google Hangout broadcast, and then I can share it, but it'll show the picture as a part of the screen share. So I can't pick the actual computer to do the screen share. I have to pick the actual image, and the image has to be open. It can't be minimized. It can't be in a folder. It has to be actually open.
So that's the image on your screen right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. So this is a PDF file, 8 by 11
Mm-hmm.
of the exterior with the
Yeah.
QR code. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the idea will be, I guess that's what you guys just discussed, will be to print this and then flip it over and then print the interior. And then you have a brochure.
Yes, on one sheet of paper. Yep.
I want you
Yep, so you print this first, and then
I'm wondering.
you would print. Then you would print. Then you would print this, the inside. See that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Master, while we're talking, with using that much black, it's going to take an awful lot of ink, isn't it, on the outside of the brochure?
That's correct.
It does, but I mean, I've even printed things out before.
It's not that big a deal. If it doesn't matter, I'm just asking whether you can reverse the black and the white or not, the outside. If you don't
Well,
recommend it, don't do it. I would just a thought.
I can't say yay or nay only because I would need to see what it would look like as far as like the text and the way that these photographs are blended on here. I mean that is probably something that should be considered because that makes an interesting point. If each person is printing this out of a printer,
Yeah.
initially, you know, they'll probably print it and maybe use a copier afterward. But to print it, you know, maybe if 100 people are printing, somebody's going to have, you know, ink problems.
So you could maybe just do a border around things and then make everything else white, kind of thing.
I think the point in sending it to people individually is, well, at best, maybe each person will print 10 copies at most. Not a whole bunch of copies.
That's a lot. That's a lot of. Well, anyway, I don't want you to do a lot of work, but if there's an easy way to, you know what I'm saying, right? Put a border, a black border on the picture, and make the background white.
Okay, well, see.
He wants you to make. I think this is not. We're not talking about this one though, right? Because this one doesn't have a lot of black.
This side is fine, I think. But what about the others?
Yeah, we're talking about.
The outside, the
The
exterior.
other outside, right.
We're talking about this, so let's bring that up.
I don't want to delay things, but I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, we could start with this and then go to that.
Yeah.
It takes any time.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe make the middle panel white instead of black.
Well, there needs to be, there's design continuity that needs to happen on the whole thing. So if I'm going to change just looking at it now, if I'm going to change the color of the back panel of it, which is the middle piece with the logo, if I'm going to change the color of that, I'm most likely going to also change the color of where it's black on the left page where there's the contribution form, as well as the cover page is on the right. So, I mean, if that's what you're asking, if that color, if the black in these areas can be changed, I think that could probably happen.
Just for the sake of the ease of printing, that's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean that's a realistic concern, and the change can be made, and I think I can work within that parameter.
All right.
Let's talk timelines because we've delayed this for so long.
Right. I don't want to. Yeah.
Exactly. Here's what I was hoping
I can open Photoshop now.
Here's what I was hoping we can reach an agreement on today.
That change would literally probably take me about 60 seconds.
Yeah, I think that you just have to do reverse colors, right?
But I'm throwing out the time factor because there's a few other things associated.
Right. If you've got access, do it while we're talking here, Master, if you can.
I was just suggesting that, but I don't think that'd be a good idea because it might. I'm thinking it's going to run the computer's CPU up too high.
You're right. Okay. But that's just reversing the colors, right?
Yeah, it would take me to happen. I'd have to open the software though, and that would probably run.
No, you're right. But you're saying could you maybe have that done by noon tomorrow? What do you think? That's something that can be done almost instantly. Right.
Maybe
you still have some more. Is the text close now, or you still some more work on the text?
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Well, she sent me the text, so that also won't take any time. It's not like I have to go in and read the text myself or anything. So it's just a matter of just inputting the text that she sent me. So
want to make a suggestion?
That can all be done at the same time. Yes, Victor?
Go for it, Victor.
Yeah. My suggestion will be, because if you look at the minutes, let's go over all the things we need to do.
And make a list, right?
Yeah, all the things we need to do to get things ready so that people can start using the fundraising kit to raise funds, and then set a timeline to get it all done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that we don't get lost on different side tracks and lose focus of the bigger thing we're trying to accomplish here,
Agreed.
Which is to get things ready for people to be able to use. Priyanka, if you can just make notes on, maybe Master can make changes to the back of the brochure. Just
Yeah, so the action item is changes to the back brochure.
And now let's look at the front of the brochure and take a look at the language. And Master, maybe you can update us on the changes that Jessica has suggested. There's also some corrections that I needed to make on the the middle panel.
Brochure.
Oh, I think I X'd out of it.
Okay.
All right. This one, right? All right. All right, this one's open now. There we go, and let me share it. All right. Everyone sees it, right?
No, I don't see it. Do you see it, Lee?
No, I don't see it yet. No.
Oh, that's interesting. All right,
Got
let's
it?
try this again. All right. See it now?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. All right.
Can you enlarge it?
All right.
Okay,
Is
so
that-
go ahead.
Is that make it bigger?
What's that?
Is it possible to make it bigger on the screen?
Like zoom in.
Well, can you maximize your own screen there, Victor, or not?
Can you see it? I zoomed in.
Yeah, I see it. Okay,
Okay, there you go.
all right, we got it. Now, Master, what changes are you making?
Okay. Well, the first one change is she wanted a different picture that's on the left page that has her with Priyanka there. She wants a different picture, but more importantly, she wants the title here on the right page where I have the name of the school very visible and with the block here. She wants that to also include the word village as the title, kind of the working title of that page, I guess. And then she sent me an update of that information that's beneath it.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull it up if you want to know what the exact information is. Okay, yeah, I have the text here if you want to see. I have it in my phone. I'm looking at it on my phone.
If you can just email that text to Lee and I.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to see it right now, right, Lee?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that can.
So you're just changing that panel. That's it.
Yeah. That's mainly what.
And just text underneath the title also. Right?
The text.
Yeah, well, it's all on the right side. So yeah, the most of the work is going to be on the right panel here that has the school name and information.
Zero in on that area that says the problem. The problem, if you can.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
Remind me.
If you can expand that. I need to make a slight correction to that text.
Okay. Is it how's it now?
Yeah, I can see right now. See where it says a 2002 study by the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture?
Yes.
Right. I'll read the way it should read. It should say a 2002 study by the IITA estimates that over 2 million children between the ages of 4 and 17 years, between the ages of 4 and 17, were employed on cocoa farms across West Africa.
So strike out that in cocoa. Yeah. In Cote d'Ivoire, remove that, right?
Yeah, remove that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that's phrased in both places, right? You're right.
I see.
We don't have any updated data.
Well, the history of this is it was that study in 2002 that set off the firestorm.
Right.
And that's what the Coconomics project, for example, came out of the firestorm that this study created back in 2002. So this is like the seminal study on the problem.
Okay. I just know that there's a 2011 one by the International Labor Organization or
Hey,
something.
guys, what if we deleted that sentence that's 2002 altogether and just start out
Study?
with, just start with Cote d'Ivoire? There's an estimated 625,000 child laborers.
Say it again?
If we deleted the 2002, the sentence that starts 2002 study,
Yeah.
what if we deleted that sentence, just jumped right into the Cote d'Ivoire number?
The reason I have it in there is that over time we're moving across West Africa. We're not stopping in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
But I'm essentially setting the scope of the problem.
Sure,
2 million across West Africa.
No, I agree. But for this brochure for this year, I think we can probably just focus on that. What do you think? I'm not.
Yeah. I don't.
Just for this year, I know we want to expand the scope, but so we don't get into a debate over, well, how come it's 12 years old and et cetera, just jump, because we're talking about Cote d'Ivoire in the earlier sentence anyway, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. But I'll say this, Lee, there will be debates about old study. That's the point that was trying to make to you. Those studies are outdated, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think it takes anything away if we just remove that sentence. I don't think
I mean, for this particular purpose, that just, in the next few months. This is going to be obsolete in 4 months anyway.
Yeah.
Right? That's my only point.
Yeah, you could do that. What do you guys think, Priyanka?
What I mean, if it's one of those seminal studies, I think it's important to include. I mean, I know when I do, research stuff, or I do reports or one-pagers, for health stuff, we use seminal studies, but then we do also use some updated data as well. But at the same time, this is just a brochure.
That's the point. The purpose of this is not.
Yeah, but I do like the idea of including the whole seminal study, the whole thing that kind of got it started. I don't want to encroach on that. Now that you've explained it, I feel like taking it away might be a disservice almost.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole point of putting it in.
The point is, this brochure is just going to be shown to people that we're asking for money. It's not going to be a public document. We're just the point of this brochure is that there's enough words in there that somebody says, yeah, I'll give you $30. Yeah.
Let's take a vote.
That's the whole purpose of this, and it's only going to be used between now and the end of August anyway, right?
We take a vote.
It doesn't. My inclination in these kind of things is to use fewer words rather than more words if the purpose is just to get people to agree to spend money. But I don't want to make a big deal about either way.
It doesn't matter to me either way. It doesn't take anything away from it if you remove it. So I'm not hung up on it at all.
Right.
So, Priyanka, you'd rather keep it?
Okay.
I mean, I like that. I like seeing the number of 2 million children. That's a huge number. I think we should keep that 2 million, but I don't know. Maybe we can.
That's a 12-year-old number, though. That's the problem, Priyanka.
Yeah, the numbers have probably changed, and
Well, does anyone know what the new number is?
Well, there hasn't been any comprehensive this is the only comprehensive study that's been done across West Africa. There hasn't been any since. Across West Africa, there's been individual studies in different countries.
So maybe you could start that sentence with, there are millions of children who are estimated, children between the ages of 4 and 17 years old, or something like that. There's an estimated 2 million children between the ages of 4 and 17 years old that are employed on cocoa farms across West Africa, and in Cote d'Ivoire alone, there's an estimated blah, 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 blah.
No, well, why do you want to refer back to the... You can't use that in present tense. That's the problem.
All right, guys, I'm making an executive decision. Let's take it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Master, just take it out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. take that entire sentence out and just go Republic of Cote d'Ivoire generates an estimated 40% of world cocoa production, and cocoa farming represents 15% of Ivorian GDP. In Cote d'Ivoire alone, there's an estimated 625,000 of.
So we need to actually write that. We need to write that a little bit differently, don't we?
Yeah. Say it again.
The next sentence, in Cote d'Ivoire alone, there's an estimated 625,000 of these children laborers. That would just need to be.
Well, it's going to be in Cote d'Ivoire alone, there's an estimated 625,000 children between the ages of 14 and 17 that are employed as child laborers on cocoa farms. So,
I'll work on the language right now. What we're talking. Go ahead.
All right. So just know that we need to change that action item.
Yep.
And Lee will just send you the language.
Okay.
Just for that. Okay. Just to make it smooth, so they flow. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Remember, all we're saying is this is really bad. Give us money, right? That's that's the message, right, Priyanka?
Yeah. The very point of it is to for that,
Yeah.
and it's not like you're funding a 2002 study.
Correct. If for the purpose of foundation money, we'd be more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Are we to move forward?
Action item, we'll fix that. Otherwise, I think everything else is ready to go.
On that page there, right? On the inside of the brochure. No, wait. I'm sorry, Master. Did you say you had different language under the name of the community there, from Jessica?
Off to the right side, Jessica has different information. Well, I'm not sure how different because I haven't actually reviewed the specific information that was sent to me. But there is a different submission here to be updated onto this right side of the brochure.
Did you email that to us now, or not yet?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I just got caught up in the conversation.
I know. Yeah, you did. We all did. Okay.
I can email that to you right now.
Take a second. We can take a quick look at it. I think Victor's right. Let's just pound this out, and then we can go on.
All right. So action items, those two changes need to be made. On the back side, you already have the QR code.
Right.
And the idea is, if people have the flyers, they can just use the QR code to get people to the donation page. Now, the flyer was my idea. So if you can do me a favor, Master, can you have the template that I sent you that you created the flyer off of?
Okay. 1 second.
Thank you.
You want the template, so we're going to open the template.
You don't have the email?
Well, it's not saved in my phone. It automatically pulls up what's in the phone, but it's saved to Yahoo, but not to the phone. Okay, baby. How about
You know how to do this?
thanks.
Do you have the right thing? Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They should see it.
Is it visible?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Say something, Priyanka or Master.
Hello.
Is this visible?
Cool.
The big smiles?
Yeah.
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 So this was a template that I sent to Master to build a flyer off of. The idea of the flyer, and I'm not hung up on having a flyer either, but my idea of a flyer to accompany the brochure is for the flyer to focus on the matching donation drive. And so the brochure explains the school supplies program primarily, but it doesn't really create a sense of urgency for people to donate right now. It explains an ongoing program, well, maybe a program for 2014. The idea of the flyer is to accompany the brochure and to say, we currently have a matching donation drive that is time sensitive. So whatever date we put on it, and to help people understand that whatever contribution they give will be matched like we were discussing before, maybe a multiple of 1 to 3. So your $25 contribution is matched by $75. Your $50 contribution is matched by $150. So your 25 is actually 100, and you have to make that donation within this time period. So if you can put the flyer you created on the screen, here's where we're at. So my question is the flyer necessary? And number two, based on what we have currently, can we do the flyer differently to make it more effective?
One second. 1 second, Victor.
Sure. Yeah.
There it is. Does everyone see that?
Yeah, I see that.
All right.
So here's what we have. So 2 questions.
I don't think we need a flyer, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the reason I don't think we need a flyer is if we have a brochure, then, I mean, that kind of serves as our visual enticement to these folks.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's why I didn't think we needed a flyer. Maybe we just have a flyer and not a brochure, although that would be a huge waste on the amount of time that was put in the brochure, so probably not that.
Yeah, what I would say is that in the interest of resources and functionality among people we're trying to, approach about, providing funding, the donors, being that we have already addressed an avenue for people to submit funds for the effort on the brochure, I feel like the flyer designed the way it is, it appears to me to have a focus that's very similar or complementary to the donor form that we've already included on the brochure. So, I guess basically they're kind of in the same vein, serving the same purpose almost.
We're just duplicating our efforts.
But I guess the thing is, this is a nice way to explain to your audience what the donation drive is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for that purpose, it would be useful, for people to use so that they know what it is. 25 will we match with, 200, blah, blah, blah. It's good for talking point purposes.
Yeah.
And I guess just for information purposes.
And I will add that, this is only from a perspective assuming that resources available to distribute and disseminate all of these materials is one of the main focuses. Now, if that's not the main focus, if the resources are not the main focus, if we're just trying to get our information out, I feel like this is completely fine, and this is probably ideal. But this is, those are 2 perspectives. One considering what the resources are to be, disseminating our information, and the other one.
I'm confused as to what you're talking about.
Well, like if we're worried about cost, if we're worried about people, being comfortable first printing out the brochure and then printing out a flyer. If we're concerned about that, then we shouldn't do the flyer. But if we're not, I mean, you can, giving them more information, more detailed and more focused information is probably not a bad idea. But it's all.
My primary question is the flyer necessary? That was my primary question. If it's not necessary, then everything else is a moot point. I thought it was necessary, but.
I think the information in it is necessary. I don't know.
I think the information in it is necessary, but I feel like this is information that could probably be implemented onto the donor form that we already have on the brochure, and that way, everything is under the
Okay, great.
document.
Okay. There's not that much more to do. Okay. Let's. I'm a little bit worried about putting that May.
Well, we have to also change the dates. Like, that's wrong as well. It's just from April 18th to May 31st.
Let's just start that sentence with every contribution will be matched.
Yeah. Okay.
You can say for this year's drive, okay?
Yeah.
Lee, are you saying the flyer is necessary?
One more time?
Are you saying the flyer is necessary?
Well, I'm thinking if we had the brochure, couldn't we, and that information within the brochure, couldn't we just use that instead of the flyer? How would you want the flyer to be used, Victor? I'm okay.
Well, the way I conceptualized it is you have a flyer and a brochure. They're both in your hands. Well, the way I will use it is the flyer is what I will present to people first, because that drives the urgency of what I'm trying to do. So here's what I would say. Hey, I'm involved in a donation drive for my charity organization, and I need your help. This is what I'll tell a friend. Right. So here's the donation drive. The donation drive is over the next couple of months. Every $25 you give will be matched by one of our donor organizations. Can you help? If the person asks, what's it for, I'll give them the brochure and have them read the brochure. I'm not even going to explain what's on the brochure, because those are too many words. If you want to understand what this matching donation is for, read it in the brochure. But can you help? That was because
No, I understand what you're saying. It's a valid point. Right,
in
right.
fundraising, you want to have a sense of urgency. So if I'm asking somebody for $25, I'm not going to give them a story about the school supplies program. They can go read about it.
Yeah, that's actually.
The only thing I'm telling the person, buddy, you're my friend. I'm supporting this program. I'm asking you to help me out. Period.
And you may not need the brochure at all, right?
This is that I was just about to say that. I was about to say that I almost just like the flyer versus the brochure. But I mean, and this is I'll elaborate on that. I feel like not everyone's going to sad enough to say, but not everyone's going to care to know about all the fine details. They're just going to be like, okay, this sounds like a good thing. Let me just donate. Oh, 25 will be matched with 200. That's great. Here's 25. But I feel like for those more interested folks, then we could have the brochure for them. But I don't think we need the brochure for everybody. I think the flyer would suffice.
Most of your friends you wouldn't even need it for, right?
I wouldn't.
For some people.
Yeah.
For some people.
So do we need to say anything at all about school supplies on the flyer, Jeff? Victor, what do you think?
No. The only reason we'll talk about school supplies to anybody will be if they ask, what's it for?
Okay.
What's this matching donation for? And you say, here's the information about what it's for. You already satisfy that question, the important conversation I'm having with you, because ultimately, when I reach out to a friend, they're doing it for me. So I'm saying, you're doing it for me, but it's really important that you do it now, because our matching donors will match you $25 with $75.
Okay. That's fine, but so we're asking Master to stop what he's doing and do it. No, this is already pre-designed, right? This is ready to go?
Yeah, it's already pre-designed.
Yeah, this is been designed.
Now, when you print this out, this just comes out as an 8.5 by 11?
Yeah, this is not an 8.5 by 11. This is actually 5 by 7.
You can make it an 8.5 by 11. Watch this.
It can be made that way, but it was designed.
Can you guys see that I'm clicking stuff?
Yeah. Master, is this on your computer or is this on Victor's?
No, it's on Master's computer.
It's on my computer.
So
wait, hold on. This is the full page version. That is letter size.
That's why I asked for the template to be put up first, because the template is 8 by 11, and I think it makes more sense to do it 8 by 11.
So we might as well do it. You can reformat that to 8.5 by 11, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't reformat it, but I guess that was a misunderstanding of the template, because the template had like 3 different versions happening. There was like a full page thing happening, then there was like some other side flyer. So I followed the side flyer because we already had like a full page thing happening. So
yeah, let's go back to the template. Let's go back to the template, and I'll show you what I.
Okay.
But the point of the story is we want an 8.5 by 11.
What size is it now, Master?
5 by 7.
As of now, it was designed to be 5 by 7.
Okay.
Yes, I closed the template because then we weren't able to open this one. You can have 2
the easiest thing to do right away, I think, isn't it? Just because if we want people to start using it tomorrow or Sunday, just reformat it to 8.5 by 11. And I would drop the months and just say for 2014.
Yeah.
which is where you're going.
Okay.
Maybe summer 2000 or well.
Okay. Or if you want to say between now and September the 1st, if you want to say that, but I mean, I wouldn't make it any. If you want, I say something like the 2014 drive ends August 31st or something like that.
I don't know if I'd put an end date to it, only because
Yeah.
I don't know when that.
Right.
So I'm still going to sign us up for the later summer global challenge, and I don't know when the date ends for that yet. They haven't posted that yet. So maybe it would just say summer, or I don't know.
Let's just make it as simple as possible because we're going to only. I don't care whether it has an ending date or whether, but I wouldn't have it the current ending date. That's all I'd say.
Yeah.
See, the one on the right?
Yeah.
The kid with a really big smile?
Yeah.
That's an 8 by 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can just use that size.
Okay.
And then, do you want to plot the QR symbol in there too? QR code? Or no?
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, that could be put on there. Yeah. The QR code. Make sure I remember that.
But can you guys get the QR code to work? I keep getting error messages on mine.
It worked for me.
Does it work? Where does it take you to the?
I have a question. How are you using it? Are you using it online, or did you print it out?
Either way, either way I've tried it so far, it doesn't work. But that just may be my phone.
I didn't print it out. It was on my screen on my iPad.
Where does it take you to your PayPal page?
The PayPal page, yeah.
Because I'm getting a message that's saying the page is unsafe. Is anybody getting that?
Hold on,
I haven't tried it.
Okay.
I might have gotten that message and I just said go there anyway. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see what I got.
Priyanka, did you create that or did Lee do that?
Lee did that. LY.
Because I'm thinking if anybody else is getting that error message, we could point it to the donation page instead of the PayPal page, and then just click on through to the PayPal page. You know what I mean?
Which will require creating another QR code.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we start with this one for Sunday? And if we can enhance it,
Yeah, we can always change it.
we can always change it. Let's get
What's the
draft
discussion
zero.
about? Changing the QR code to what?
See, you can the link that in fact I'll send it you an email. There's a URL for just the donation page of the UAA website. I'll send you a link to that, and if we could combine that with
Have access to our PayPal?
and then when you click on when you come to that page, it's got a button that goes to the PayPal site.
Is it more visible now? Because I know before it was at the end of the page.
Just scroll down to the bottom. No, it is not visible now. But if you're standing there with somebody, you can say scroll down.
Well, I think that's the reason why we did it just to the PayPal, because
Okay.
when you go to the donor page, it's not very.
Yeah, no,
it's
you're
not.
okay. I'm okay. Just do it as long as it works on somebody's phone.
Well, can we change it on the website though? Can we move it up higher?
What?
If we could do that, we could just have it to the donor page.
Well, we've been talking about moving the donor page. We haven't had anybody edit the donor page yet, so I'm thinking let's go with what we got. Okay.
Okay.
And then if we change the donor page, then we can change the change the QR code, and we're just going to have people print it out anyway. So if we're going to update it, it doesn't matter, right?
Upstairs, but I'm in the middle.
You know what I mean, Victor? Right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Changing the QR code to the donor page.
No, I would say don't do it now because it'll just hold us
Oh,
back.
okay.
That's all
Okay,
I'm
okay,
saying.
got it.
Let's get something out there, and then we'll see what we don't like about it. We can fix it next week. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and we're gonna obviously put that onto the flyer.
Look,
QR
I mean, right. I was gonna send everybody an email and a text message with that link to the donor page, and then if you're standing in front of somebody, you can say, "Here, let me text you the donor page," and then they can do it that way also.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder if it works that way. Like if I could take a picture of it and then send it to people, because then I could just text people the page and then they could open it up or something.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I stepped up.
Let me just do that. I can do it right now. Hang on a second.
Lee was talking about actually like messaging people the page with the code.
So, I mean, here's what I'm thinking. You can just this makes sense to you guys. So I'm standing in front of you, Priyanka, and say, "Hey, I really need your help on this project. Can you give me $30?" And you say, "Sure. How do I do that?" And I say, "Here, let me just text you the URL, and you can put your information in right on the spot." Then you don't have
Oh, you mean like a message? You don't mean so you're saying don't use the QR code?
Exactly. I mean, you can use both. I mean, if the QR code is on the thing, then they just click and it doesn't work. Then this is a backup plan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Okay. So let me write that down.
But let me send it to you. I can send it to you. You'll have it if I can figure out where it is. Donation link.
Hey, guys, I have an update on that.
Yeah.
Did you guys get the email from the accounting department today?
I did.
Yeah, they set up a PayPal mobile account, and in that email they said all you have to do if you want to get a payment right there and then is if you have the PayPal app, download it. They'll give you a card reader because apparently they must have ordered multiple card readers. You just plug the card reader into your smartphone and the person will swipe.
So Victor, that requires us to wait until we have a card reader. All I'm saying is that's fine, but why don't we go ahead and do this now? We can have them have 4 different ways of paying. You know what I mean?
I think they already have the card readers.
No, we only had 2,
But
and I got one of them.
I guess the question would be how do we get access? Yeah.
All right,
I have one of them.
Sorry.
I take it back then.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so what did we agree on? Text the link.
So we agreed that we would include the QR code on the flyer so people can scan it if they want to use that. Let's say it doesn't work for them for whatever reason. If it doesn't, we will automatically have the URL on hand so that we can text it to them or message or however we want to do this when we're interacting with these folks.
Right.
So that it'll take them directly to the page and they can pay for it right there.
Right. Exactly. So it's like we'll give them multiple ways of doing it. The idea is don't walk away until you got their money, right?
That'll be the idea.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, this is a conversation among 4 of us.
Yeah.
Part of what we had discussed before Lee was however we get this fundraising materials to other volunteers. So I'll use Christina for example. Christina is one of our student volunteers at College Park. Or I'll use she's working on Priyanka's Christmas event team. So let's say we send her somehow electronically a package that includes the brochure and the flyer, QR code and all. We're talking about including in that email that we send them, or however we send it to them.
I'm just sending it to them right now, guys.
However we send it to other volunteers, a set of instructions on how to use it. And I know, Lee, you were going to work on that.
Right.
So how to pay.
So I'm sending the instructions on that piece as well.
I guess what I'm meaning is how do we create a package that we can just forward to other volunteers, and once they get it, it's all self-explanatory. They can just start running with it right away.
So we need the flyer, we need the link, and we need the donation recording form, right?
I think Yes, and the tracking sheet. I think
The
we
tracking
need to
sheet, yeah.
have. I think we need to have like a one pager, like
Yeah.
a fundraising how-to one
Right.
pager that has, first of all, what this is for,
Yeah. Sure.
how to do it, and what all the materials are used for. That way, everyone can just read the one pager and be like, all right, this is how I'm going to do the fundraising. Got it. These are my materials. All right, I know what they're being used for, and then go forward. So having like a one pager that kind of really easily easily says how to do this and what
Yeah.
the materials are used for.
Yep. I mean that's easy. That's if you get the email that I just sent you, that's a start. And the one page will just simply say, here's the flyer, here's your donation form, here's the purpose, here's the pitch you can make, something like this. If you got somebody in front of you, text them or email them on the spot, and just have them click on that page, and they'll go right to where they can enter their.
In whatever way we do this, just to make it clear.
Yeah,
everyone,
exactly. Yeah. So that'll be easy enough to prepare. So I'm thinking that I can just make put the instructions in the covering email, right? The email will say attached is a package.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it can be included in an email.
Yeah. Okay. So I can, okay. Right?
What can we put in an email?
The instructions.
He's saying instead of doing an actual document one pager, just putting that in an email.
But we're going to send the package by email anyway. Just put it in the email. They don't need a lot of explanation, right?
No.
Hopefully not.
Attached is a flyer. Attached is the.
But explain what the flyer is for, and explain what the brochure is for, and explain explain what each item is for. Because let's say I'm Christina and I'm in College Park, I'm gonna be like, is this just for the fundraising team? Why do I need to fill out? They might get confused. So just kind of explaining why it's important for each person to.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also saying, I think we'll probably send it out and talk to them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm just.
Following up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to figure out, and you and I, Lee, we can talk offline about how to talk to every volunteer that this fundraising kit is going to.
Right.
We got to figure out an efficient way to have that conversation. We'll probably need Jessica's help to figure that out.
Well, there aren't that many volunteers, unfortunately, right?
Well, the list is actually, the number is expanding.
We have, who do we have? We have Samantha, Christina, Blake, myself, Master, both Lees, Victor, Jennifer, Jessica. That's 10 so far. We've got Vanessa, that's 11.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm missing some people.
We have Bowell. We have 2 members of the accounting team that
13, 14.
Yeah. Jessica just recruited, and there's some people I can think of right on the fringes that have been with us as recently as last December. That if we approach them the right way, might be willing to get involved. So I can imagine at least 20 people that we can reach out to with this. And if each one of those 20 people just get give a contribution and get one person to contribute, we just made our goal. So Lee, you and I'll create a list.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out how to reach everybody in that list.
All right.
But I can think right now. I can think of at least 20 people that's going to be involved in this.
What is that her thing?
Yeah, just run this by me again. I just saw your email, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I can just your email the same way you just forwarded this to me.
Mm-hmm.
And just forward it to somebody.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as you're standing in front of them, you can send it right off of your phone, right?
I'll look into it because I asked her before. Okay. Are we good with the fundraising piece?
Yeah, we're good with the fundraising piece. There was something I know there was an issue with the landing page. Are we just skipping over that? Because a conversation I had with Jennifer was what the donor page is going to look like, and she showed me some uh, good landing pages that she can whip up in a matter of like an hour or two. So I thought about having her share some of those ideas today, but I know Lee's idea was to just use the donor page that we currently have, uh, even though we're not 100% happy with it. So I'm thinking if we wanted to create a different landing page, that the link that you just sent me, that where that link will go to, we can look at, just have Jennifer show us a few options real quickly and see what you guys think. But I don't know if, Lee, if that for you is still an issue, what the landing page looks like.
So look, here's where I am at 8:55 on Friday. Let's put together a package as soon as we get the updated flyer from Master. Let's put together a package of what we've got.
Okay.
And get started. And then people say, well, that page is really a pain in the butt to scroll down, and we can fix it. If somebody says we need both the flyer and the brochure, we can add that to the package.
That's very nice. All right. So we're setting a time. We're setting a timeline of Sunday. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, well, for at least on my end, that's completely doable. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Are we able to move on now?
Yep.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. What's next?
Grant writing updates. School supplies. Here's just from the conversation we had last week. I'm still committed. We've had 5 for the month already. My commitment was 10. I have another week, so I will send another 5 letters of inquiry by the end of this week, so that we have 10 letters of inquiry sent out for school supplies. So 5 so far for May, 5 more by the end of the month. And I'm gonna need Priyanka. I know you sent some how-tos on Trello.
Yes, I did do that.
Yeah, but I'll talk to you offline. I'm gonna need your help to use Trello effectively. But I'll talk to you offline about that.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's for me with school supplies. I don't know if Lee has anything to say about, because all this fundraising we're doing is primarily school supplies driven. But I know there's been some conversations between Lee and Jessica, and there's an ongoing conversation about what direction we want to take the school supplies. I don't know if Lee wants to say anything, or if this is in the appropriate forum for that.
Would you all be interested in knowing kind of our general sense as to how we'd like to see this thing play out over the next few years?
Okay.
Sure.
It's getting kind of late in the day. I don't want to keep you. We can do it another time, but
It's getting kind of late in the day.
Oh wow!
It's 9 o'clock. Yeah.
we'd be happy. I'm happy to tell you now. The 2-sentence version is, first of all, we'd like to have this thing extended so that whatever school we go to this year, we can go back next year so that they can enroll, a new group of students.
Okay.
We'd like to pick another community that has a school we can use, so we can expand it to different communities. But more importantly, we'd like also to use it as a way to begin a discussion with the principal of the school or the school principal and teachers about other things that they would like to see in terms of school improvements, and also a discussion with the village that gets involved in this in terms of the improvements that they would like to see, and also perhaps with the co-op, and begin to use this as helping to put together an outline of a plan that we can help them develop, that we can take to places like the World Cocoa Foundation or individual cocoa manufacturers or other foundations, saying, look, here's a plan for development that can be complementary to what the cocoa manufacturers are doing with regard to the training of the farmers, improving the farming techniques. Here are some other things that we could combine with what you're doing to make a more comprehensive impact on the community. And so it's a way to like empower the community themselves. So we see the possibility of using this as sort of a catalyst for helping the communities in a much more broader way, for helping the schools in a broader way than just supplies, and helping the communities in broader ways than just school supplies and farmer training.
Right.
So that's kind of the big picture. It's the idea is capacity building, to have the communities, the school superintendent and the communities and the co-ops develop the skills to know how to put together their own plans and help them find people, or be an intermediary to introduce them to people with funding, and so that the communities themselves have a sense of their own ability to help shape their own futures. So that's a nutshell. There's a lot more behind that, but that's sort of
the point.
Like getting the foot in the door and then making a big impact down the road.
There's a lot of things in the offering. There's a lot of discussions being had, and as things develop, we'll just keep unfolding the development as time goes along. In a nutshell. So,
All right.
Priyanka, you have the floor. Operating expenses, Christmas wishes.
All right, sounds good. And just now that you've mentioned the World Cocoa Foundation, Lee, I'll probably connect with you soon with my Christmas wishes team, because we wanted to invite them to speak at our event.
At the Christmas event in December, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Jessica has the lead in this, and we're on the same page. And the 2-minute version of that is, we met with the president. You may already know this, right? Bill Guyton.
Yeah.
He was supportive, but he said, because he's got his own political structure, he says, we need to have his people in Abidjan meet with the UAA people in Abidjan and see what the chemistry is in the relationship there. And if his people say, yeah, these are good guys to work with, then they'll get back to Bill. We can collectively start deciding what to do on the ground. They may be able to jump in right away with some money for school supplies. And then Bill said, what we can do from the Washington end is he can not only involve himself, but he can involve the other members of the board of the foundation, which is primarily made up of major cocoa manufacturers. And he could expect to get them to get involved in the Christmas Wishes fundraising activity.
Well, okay. In what way did he say he wanted to be involved?
Well, like, we would invite them to come and bring their checkbook.
Would he want to speak? Would he have an expectation?
We didn't go that far. The idea would be,
okay.
They would say, what they're saying is, we think this Christmas Wishes fundraising is a good idea. We'd like to become visible participants. So, so we can help you make this successful, and so we can also, for in our own sake, tell people that, yeah, we support that as well.
Okay. I mean, I only ask because the way we created the program,
yeah,
to have a place for them to speak.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That will be the next step of dialogue that you can have with them when we go see them.
Great.
So, Bill, would you like to be the speaker, or would you like to have yourself plus one of the, somebody from Hershey's or somebody like that who's on the board talk, or do they want to do something about, by that time, we may have agreement with them that in the out years, we would be doing something in school supplies or on, the women abuse awareness in one of the communities that they're already doing some training for farmers. So we could talk about joint. So there'd be a whole bunch of things that we could do together. And Bill says he's glad we approached him now in May. That gives him enough time to make some things can happen between now and December.
Sure, but we definitely would want to focus his talk. We wouldn't want him to be all over the place with us.
No, yeah, he's in the place of saying, I want to help, tell me what you want me to do, kind of thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Great.
So yeah, he's in a really good place. He won't try to dominate, and he won't, try to have his own message. He'll say, I want you guys to be successful. What would you like me to do to be most helpful? And then you can tell him, Priyanka.
All right.
How does that sound?
That sounds good.
All right.
Lee, when can we talk again about school supplies? Because I think Ernest owes us some kind of response. And the change that Jessica made in that brochure, it's pretty significant. We need to kind of get some kind of update on it so we're all on the same page.
So let me just. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'll send an email to everybody, including my suggestion of that small amount of wording that needs to be worked on in the brochure. Master, can you do both the brochure and the flyer? Do you think by noon tomorrow?
Yeah. Based on the changes that were already kind of introduced and discussed, yeah, that can all be completed by tomorrow.
Okay. So then, Victor, when we get to that, let's see if we can get together. We'll have the raw materials at that point to do the kits, right?
Yeah.
And I'm working right now on an email for the kits. So my next tasks are an email to give you guys some suggestions on text, and a draft email to Victor with regard to what would the email say that we send the package around for. And then, so the question is, do you want to try to talk tomorrow evening or try to talk on Sunday, Victor?
Let's shoot for Sunday.
Okay. Sunday gets Sunday's just fine. Tell me a time that works for you.
I'm flexible.
All right. How about let's try 2 o'clock.
All right.
Or do you want to do it later?
No, 2 p.m. is fine.
2 p.m. is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be out at my sister-in-law's house for a Memorial Day thing, but I can work around that as long as I know what the time is. Okay. So hopefully before midnight, I'll get those 2 emails out to everybody. And then, Master, we'll see an email from you ideally by 12 tomorrow or before.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the attachments, and then Victor, we'll talk at 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Sounds good.
Priyanka, do you want to have a role here? Or can we just carry on?
You can carry on.
All right.
Keep it informed. You can carry on.
We'll
do that. All right. That work for you? How's that sound, Victor?
I had an item on the agenda called Accounting Logistics Update. I spoke with the accounting team. They really have their stuff together. And I asked them if we go out and raise funds, and this should be part of the how-to instructions lead. If you go out and you raise funds, if the donor makes the donation electronically, they are able to track the donations that are coming in, and they get a confirmation email. There are 2 people on the accounting team that their job is to do that. There's Shah. Shah was at the last meeting we had at Jessica's house. There's another person by the name of Jerry who I've never met. But they both seem to be really on point. Once they get a confirmation email, they send a receipt for the donation, and they send a thank you letter by mail. I have a copy of that thank you letter, which I'm going to upload onto the shared drive. It's going to be under the grants and policies folder under my name. So if you want to see what the thank you letter looks like, and you want to see what the receipt looks like. But Jessica's instructions to them, which they passed on to me today, is that they are the only ones who do receipts. They are the only ones who do thank you letters.
So we don't do receipts anymore. Even if we get a cash or something from somebody, we don't do the receipts.
Those were the latest instructions I got today. I thought that needs to be clarified, but those were the instructions I received today. Now, if you get a donation by cash or by check or any other form other than electronic, you want to get that donation across to Jenny or Shaw as quickly as possible with the name of the donor, the address, all that good stuff, so they can send the receipt and the thank you letter. Now, it will make sense to me if we can do receipts, but we need to clarify that, and I can try to have that clarified by the time we send out the receipts on Sunday. But the accounting department,
get that information.
But the accounting department is set up to, as soon as the donations come in, to follow up with thank you letters right away. And like I said, if you want to know what the thank you letter looks like, I'm going to upload it to my folder tonight, hopefully.
Okay.
Effective communication, I think it's, do you have a few words on that, Priyanka?
Sure. Yeah, I guess I wanted to just say a few things in terms of communication that I noticed over the past few weeks. So sometimes I'll see that there'll be certain communications that maybe not everyone's privy to, and sometimes I'm not necessarily privy to every conversation. And so then all of a sudden I'll receive an email about something, and I'll be a little confused because it looks like there's the expectation that I should have known about that certain thing, but then didn't know about it. And so if I feel that way, then I can only imagine people who aren't, doing these weekly things. For example, like a Christine or a Samantha who haven't been to a meeting with us for almost a month. I can only imagine how they feel when they get, some of this correspondence. The other thing that I was wanting to say is that sometimes we seem to reinvent the wheel a lot, even though we might have like something already in place or something that we're already talking about. But then again, that's not necessarily communicated clearly, and then we don't really know, what's really happening. So like in terms of the thank you letter and the receipts, at our last meeting, we had discussed, someone would handle, changing the type for the receipts, and then, we would use them, or we would be able to use the receipts, someone would change some of the wording on something else. But then all of a sudden there was this new thing, where there are all these new instructions, and so that was confusing because there was one thing that we were saying we were going to do, and then we switched it without really knowing, or without discussing it, I guess, into something else, which is fine. It just gets confusing when there's multiple things that we say we're going to do, or, just multiple things going on, and we're kind of reinventing the wheel almost to achieve our outcome, I guess you could say, in one specific thing that we're doing. What else did I want to say in terms of communication? I mean, those were the main things. The other thing is just that sometimes it's really hard to know who's doing what, because, unlike us, unlike the grant writing and fundraising team, I don't think everyone else has that kind of structure where they're able to like meet and know what everyone else is doing. So sometimes there might be a duty that falls within a certain group, but then you don't really hear from them, or you don't hear about it, and then someone else decides to do it. And so that there's kind of that breakdown that I started noticing a little bit as well. And then I think that's it in terms of communication. But Victor, I came up with, like, it was so much better when I talked to you last week. I came up with an idea, it was some kind of idea where we would try to keep each other informed of what we were doing. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was a really good idea that would kind of keep everyone in the loop about what everyone else is doing, what everyone else has been working on, and make sure everyone's, like I said, in the loop.
I'm scratching my head right now trying to remember because I remember it was a brilliant idea at the time,
It was really good.
and I can't remember right now. I can't remember. I think it was something about maybe I guess maybe sending out the minutes of a meeting. Is that what it was?
Oh, it was an update. I guess it was so having kind of like an update
Yeah,
each week about what each person was going to work on.
yeah,
And someone would, okay, I remember now. So what I do with the Christmas wishes team is that each week, well, currently they've had finals, but each week what I did was I would compile what everyone was going to work on and provide it in like an update form and send that out to everyone on the listserv.
yeah,
So what we discuss is maybe having one person take the responsibility each week, and we could rotate. That way, it doesn't always fall on the same person. And one person would compile like all the updates or action items for a specific team each week, and then send that update. So for grant writing, maybe the first week I could do it, and I would type up what everyone is going to do in terms of action wise. Send that to everyone. If marketing does their own thing, and then they type up what they're going to do and send it out to everyone. If we run into the problem where we don't have enough people on like a marketing team or on the events team, then maybe we can combine them. Where we get in touch with, okay, what is the Christmas team doing? If there's not someone who's able to do that, what are they doing? Okay, find that out and then add it on to the update.
yeah. I think the minutes of a weekly meeting, like the minutes you created last week, kind of serves that purpose already because it's got all the action items for.
You think those were good then?
Yeah, it's got all the action items for the next week already in those minutes. So rather than create another task, I think what we can just do is just, maybe just tinker around with the minutes a little bit and just send it out to everybody so people know what we're doing. Does that make sense? Or you think we need?
You're saying take the minutes and do what with them?
I think it already serves the purpose that you described.
Yeah.
Tinker around with the minutes because it's got all the action items for the next week, and just send that out. So that functions as the update for us.
All right.
Does that make sense, or you were thinking of something?
I mean, I think that might have been the idea. I feel like there was something else I mentioned that was really good too,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what it is at the moment.
You always mention really good ideas. So.
But the point of the story was that, sometimes I feel like we're all kind of working on different planes, which in a sense we are working on different things, but sometimes I feel like we're on just different planes where, someone's working on this, but we don't necessarily know what's going on. I know with the fundraising stuff, I was confused at first, at least I was, because we were starting to get emails from accounting, and then it seemed like there was an expectation that we should be doing stuff already, but then, I didn't feel like I had any materials or any kind of clear instruction on what we were supposed to be doing. So that was one communication breakdown that, I noticed and, wanted to kind of point out.
Yeah, I think that was the idea. We have to nail down the logistics of at least starting with us. And once we start doing that regularly, then we can suggest to other teams, like the accounting team, or as soon as we have a marketing team, to try to follow our lead. But I'm thinking I don't know if it makes sense to just send out the minutes of our meeting to.
I mean, I know we do, but like I said, the only time that we really get a good grasp of what everyone is doing is when we have like a group meeting and there are minutes sent out from those. But I don't. In the between time, we don't really get a good grasp of what's going on in terms of everything else. I don't know if accounting's doing this or that unless I hear from it, unless I hear about it from someone else.
what I'm saying is we can send our minutes not just amongst us.
No,
We
no, no,
can-
to everyone else. And I'm
Yeah,
saying,
but-
like, for everyone else that's working on something else, for
Yeah, but-
example, you know, for
Yeah.
them to kind of do this, I don't know, the same, or to give something.
Yeah, to do something similar.
Yeah.
We take the lead, so people know what we're doing, and then we can ask people, in one form or another, let us know what we're doing, at least once a week. I think that might be a good start to at least addressing that. What do you think?
So taking the lead on it and then kind of asking others to do the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a start. But that's Lee's philosophy. Rather than wait for some uh, grand conversation about communication strategy, let's take the lead. Let's do it the way it should be done, and then ask other people to reciprocate. Because if they like getting updates from us, then we can start asking to get updates from them too.
All right. How soon can we ask for them to give us an update?
Well, let's send out let's send out the minutes of this meeting to them first. Maybe we can actually send out this Google Hangout session so other people can see it if they want.
Yeah, I'm going to.
All right. So maybe once we do it twice, if anybody expresses interest, we say, you know what, you can do the same thing so we know what you're doing.
Sounds fair enough. Because I know in terms of like us, you know, we have a structure that's, you know, pretty organized and regular, and you know, it obviously we had our growing pains with like using Google Hangout and this and that, but I mean, I feel like we have something that at least has a little bit more structure to it, and I don't know, it just feels more together.
I agree. We'll just we'll spread the love. How about that? We'll spread the love. I think that pretty much covers everything, unless there's something I'm missing. Any words of wisdom from Master? I think
No
Master is
additional words of wisdom.
I have nothing else. You guys are probably y'all two, between the two of you, you're probably much more wise than I am.
Yeah,
I seriously doubt that.
yeah, wisdom is a group thing. We
Alright.
add our own pieces of wisdom, right?
Yeah, I can do so.
You know the way people quote like Kennedy, quote MLK? I have a quotation mark that says Master Umino.
Oh.
No.
Maybe. All right, so we're going to have our next meeting on next Friday.
Next Friday. When can we get the minutes of this one so we can close it?
When can we get a meeting?
The minutes.
The minutes? I'll type them up and I'll see if I can get them out also before tomorrow.
That'll be awesome. So, Master, we're counting on you.
Yeah, I appreciate the deadline as being like a new situation for tomorrow, but I'll try to get it done tonight. I actually plan to do homework tomorrow, so my plans are probably to try to get it done tonight. So maybe I'll be able to see it to you before tomorrow. So
The fate of the Ivory Coast rests on your shoulders, and it sounds like you're up to the challenge.
yeah.
Anything from you, Lee?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Good to go?
Thank you.
All right, well, I always love working with you guys.
Same here. If
It's great.
If we're together, we'll do a group hug, but we'll just...
Yeah. They should add that feature on this
on the live.
on this Google Live thing.
And by the, I guess everybody knows that Lee White lost her aunt.
Yeah. Bianca told me. Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, so I heard from Lee LY. I've actually been communicating with her a lot over the past few days. And at first, earlier in the week, she sounded very stressed and like there was a lot going on in terms of family. And then late last night, she actually texted me and she told me that her aunt passed away, and that tonight, they're going to be doing some family preparations for that on into the weekend. So,
Do you know how old she was?
the aunt, I don't.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't think she was too old. I think she was in maybe her like 40s or 50s.
That's really sad.
So, I know, Victor, you talked about doing a card from all of us.
Yeah. I was going to buy the card, but I don't know how you guys are going to sign it. Because we need to send it out soon.
I can send you my signature electronically.
And then paste it on the...
And then you can either forge my signature or paste it on there.
I can barely...
To all the NSA, people listening on this live feed, that is a joke.
I'll just send the card from all of us.
But yeah.
From all of UAA. And I think I have the address, so I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow.
Sounds good. I think he's gonna do it here. Are you gonna deliver the card to her, or?
No, I'm just gonna put it in the mail tomorrow.
I'll mail it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I have her address somewhere.
All right.
Yeah. I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, so hopefully she'll get it by Monday or Tuesday. Oh, well, Tuesday or Wednesday. At least before our next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Good night.
It was good talks, y'all.
So,
Thanks a lot, everybody.
all right.
Have a nice
See you
evening.
later.
Let's get it going.